So what are we going to talk about today? Or what do we want to talk about today? And the idea, if you leave here with nothing else, no, hopefully you'll leave with more, but the notion of guru or grunt. What is a guru? What is a grunt? The idea that it's possible to work smarter and not harder if you have the right strategy along the way. Now, one example of a guru versus a grunt I thought was interesting. Our good friend Bruce Lee matched up against our other good friend Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. But who here is working harder versus smarter? So one might say that Bruce Lee was a guru. There are other gurus that have existed in the world. Anybody know who this guru is? Yes, the love guru, exactly. So not every guru can be taken at face value, but then there are other gurus like this guru, whose literally name was Guru. He stands for Gifted Unlimited Rhymes Universal. I highly recommend if you've never owned one of his albums. He passed away in 2010 from cancer. Jazzmatazz Volume 1, it will change your life. He was also a guru, a respected guru in the hip-hop community. This is a guru. This is a personal guru of mine. So I've studied martial art for just under 20 years, and the idea around working smarter, not harder, is this idea that you don't have to use force to accomplish what you desire. And in fact, when you're thinking about martial arts study, you actually want to be thinking about not, here's what I can do when I'm 20, but how do I need to move, and what do I need to be thinking about in terms of timing, distance, and force when I'm 60 or 70, or in this case, 80. He's now about 84 years old. This is in the dojo in Japan, in this tiny little dojo in Noda that I've been to a couple of times. I've had the opportunity to train with him, but it has always stuck with me, this idea of being able to work smarter and not harder. And so what is this? This is the Sanskrit, this is in fact Sanskrit for guru. It is a Sanskrit term, and it does mean someone who is a teacher, a guide, or master of a certain knowledge. Now the grunts. We've all seen the leaky bucket. From our perspective, we have customers who we worked with, we have prospects who we've talked about, and I think that the general conversation about filling the bucket with new customers only to have them leak out of the bottom is definitely grunt work. Who knows who this is? There we go, Sisyphus. So Sisyphus, way back in the day, the king of Ephyra, he was punished for self-aggrandizing craftiness. What does that sound like? Sometimes it sounds like acquisition marketing. And he was forced to roll a boulder up a hill over and over again for the rest of his life. Not really an effective way to go about your day-to-day on any given day. However, there is some hope. After Sisyphus, we had someone by the name of Archimedes, who in about circa 2250 BC, he said, "Give me a place to stand, and with a lever I will move the whole world." So thinking more like a guru instead of a grunt, thinking more about working smarter and not harder. And then we can fast forward about 2,000 years, 2,200 years or so, when Albert Einstein had this to share. He said, we cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we used when we created them. So when you think about today, and of course what we'll hear about from the panel and the conversation and the report that will be issued later this week that you'll get access to, do we need to work harder, or can we in fact work smarter? And by working smarter, are there certain things we need to think about and change in our business practices, what we do every day, what we do as part of our team, as part of our culture, ways in which we can institutionalize the ability to be gurus and not grunts. And ultimately, we want you to be superheroes.